Hey guys, we are here, Bodies by Brent, episode number 2, and we are here with Get Fit with Nikki.
Hey everyone, how are you doing? Happy to be here.
Yeah, I feel like if you live in Austin, you probably know who Get Fit with Nikki is.
I like to think so, but you never know. I'm trying to get my name out there right now.
I think it's out there. So I wanted to have you on because following your Instagram and reading your different stories, you are a very inspirational person in the fitness world. And you went through a personal transformation, getting fit in a mind, body, spirit way. And so I wanted to just take the chance to really allow you the space to share your journey going through, where you started and where you are now.
Definitely. Well, a little bit of background. So how I really got into everything. I've always been an athlete my whole life, but I never really knew what I was doing in the gym. And I wouldn't work out besides practices. So played soccer, had diving, everything, but I wasn't lifting. I wasn't really doing anything besides just going to practice.
How long ago was this?
Like high school, growing up and everything.
Okay.
And I was always a little bit, I wouldn't say like obese but I was chunky, a little chubby. Yeah.
Okay.
I had, and just like any other, I'm sure, person, but a lot of girls go through this where you just look in the mirror and you're like, I hate what I'm seeing right now, and you're not comfortable in your body. And then when I went to college, I ended up at University of New Hampshire, so I'm from Boston up north.
Okay.
But, I decided to walk onto the diving team there. Just went for it, and with that, it was D1, so you're practicing, doing 2 days. You get a lifting coach, a nutritionist, so I started learning about all of that stuff, and it wasn't something I was like, oh, I really want to lose 20 or 30 pounds, but it just happened with doing everything correctly and actually thinking about what I'm putting into my body and learning about lifting weights instead of just going on the elliptical for an hour and doing whatever. So once I started seeing those changes, it kind of became an obsession for me, and I just wanted to keep going with that. And then I ended up losing about 25 to 30 pounds from that.
That's big, yeah.
And as people are giving you compliments and you're feeling better about yourself and you're looking in the mirror being like, wow, I actually feel pretty confident here. I like what I'm seeing. I feel good today. So I just kept going with that, started doing research on my own, trying different diets, plans, what worked for me, what didn't. And I posted that on Instagram. It just kind of blew up from there. So kind of fell into this whole thing, didn't really mean to. But once I posted that transformation, people started reaching out being like, how did you do this? What happened? And that's when Get Fit with Nikk was born.
That's awesome.
I was selling Beachbody products. So my mom still uses all those videos, which I love doing when I go home. But people were like, we want to know specifically what you did, not like the Shakeology and all of that stuff. So I started doing custom fitness and meal plans for people that way. And then when I moved to Austin, I love it here because there's so much to do with the fitness industry.
Totally.
So many people are into that. So many entrepreneurs. There are different brands that are trying to just promote health and wellness. And when I first got started with this, all I really wanted to do was help other people like me. So people that were looking in the mirror being like, wow, I hate myself and I hate what I see. And then once you go through some of those changes and you realize that you can get self-confidence and actually love your body and love yourself, I wanted to help other people do that through fitness and a healthy lifestyle. So long-winded, but that's kind of how
awesome.
I got started.
That's super great. Take me back to when you started. You started on the Division I swimming team. What did you learn? What were some of the things you were learning from your lifting coach? I'm so curious about not coming from a lifting background or doing any of that. What did he teach you and that you still kind of apply today?
Well, I literally didn't know what I was doing in the gym at all. So when I would go to the gym before that, I would probably just stay at the elliptical, like weight scared me. Going onto that side of the gym scared me.
Okay.
Didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, oh, that's the guy side, which I'm sure a lot of people that aren't familiar with the gym kind of get that
definitely
scaredness. But so once I started learning about like deadlifts and squats and how you're actually supposed to do it without hurting yourself and correct form and everything, it was all of that Olympic body weight. So snatches, squats, deadlifts, like I already said, but doing all the pull-ups, bench press, all of that, and just learning about form and everything. And then when I went home for breaks and everything, I would be able to take that back and do it in the gym and then kind of write my own programs from that.
That's great.
Because the lifting coach would give you like things to do when you're not at college and stuff. But so I would kind of tweak that too and then use that to build other people's programs too.
That's awesome. So you have a really good foundation of understanding programming.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, especially a Division I strength coach.
Yeah, and
like
awesome. It was kind of like a little cheat sheet. I was like, oh, I already have these cards to know the basics of what I should be doing for each workout, so I can just use that and implement it for other people now too.
Well, I love that. So what would you say some of your basic principles, like when you're designing programs for men and women, like what are some key things you make sure you put in there?
I'm going to be completely honest because of what I'm doing right now. So I'm not here for people that are trying to do a competition or trying to do a race or anything. I'm really here. My target audience is for specifically women that are just trying to create a healthier lifestyle for them. So some people, I have a lot of moms that come to me. I have a lot of girls in college that they're just busy. They don't have a lot of time, but they want to start a healthier lifestyle. They've never been in the gym before or anything. So a lot of that, it's like, I'm not going to just throw somebody that's never been in the gym doing like bench press and snatches and stuff. So a lot of it is just how to get started. So it's not even that programming specifically, but I'm learning about what do they currently do, what is their background knowledge, what are their goals, and then developing the plan to really get started. So implementing small steps. I always say small changes every day make for big results later. So whether that's if they don't do anything right now, just get out and start walking every day for 30 minutes.
Nice.
So you could just start with that and then build on from there. But other people that already have a background, I mean, I do want to have HIIT and weightlifting for everybody eventually, because that's really what changed my life. I mean, anybody can be a cardio bunny in the gym. Totally. It's not going to get you anywhere. So it really depends on the person, what their goals are, and then what their background is. But I really try to start small and then build people up throughout the program.
Yeah, build momentum. And then when appropriate things, when appropriate types of training present themselves, you start to implement it in there.
Exactly. And a lot of people, so it is global. Like I have people from all over the world reaching out. So I can't be in person to show them form or anything. I don't want to throw anything too much at them too.
Here's snatches. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, I do use like how-to videos, either myself or YouTube, and just explain everything, but I don't want to throw anything too hectic in there. So it is all online. So anybody anywhere can reach out and I'll develop a program for you, but it's harder if it is all online and they don't have a big background. So it's really customized to the person, their goals, and where they are.
That's awesome. And so tell me, you went onto the swim team, was it a linear process all the way till where we are now of like getting fit and healthy, or were there ups and downs? And then if there were downs, tell me about some of those.
There's always ups and downs. And I mean, even moving forward, it's going to be ups and downs the whole way. Trying to think of some of the downs. I mean, obviously getting started when you're seeing, I would say that I went a little too far that first year. So when you're hearing all those compliments and people being like, oh, you look so good, you lost weight. And then it keeps getting to your head and you want to keep losing more weight and doing more. And then you end up exercising like 3 hours a day and not eating as much as you should with that training regimen and everything. So I definitely got underweight for a little bit. So then finding that balance. And realizing that you don't have to be on that super strict schedule or super strict eating habits. Like, you're allowed to have dessert or your cravings and just find a healthier way to do that. You don't have to binge on everything. And so learning that balance has definitely been an ongoing struggle for me.
For sure, yeah.
And then like going out to eat, how to do that, and still having fun with my friends, because I went through a period that I was like, I'm not going to go out. That's extra calories. It's like, you're restricting yourself. How can you not go out and have fun with your friends or like go out to eat just because, you might be eating a few more calories than you want to or something, and people shouldn't live that way. So finding that balance has been really difficult for me, and I think it will just continue to be a learning lesson, but that's definitely been the hardest part for me.
And totally. And if you restrict too much, then the pendulum's going to swing the other way. And part of being healthy and fit is, enjoying your life, hanging out with friends, going to restaurants, right? So you have to, people can experience this like getting in shape at first, but it's like, how do I find that balance? And different times in your life are different. Balance means different things, right? Summer balance versus winter balance, or, 5 years from now, depending on what's going on in your life, can mean and can look completely different.
Definitely.
So it's like, it's completely always a changing ebb and flow of what is balance, right? Checking in with yourself. So what is it for you now? Like, where are you now with balancing being fit, but also having fun and enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I'm definitely still a schedule person, so very big routine. During the week, I am a full-time tech sales rep, so this is just kind of my passion project, my little baby on the side that I love to do. Your
baby's huge. You're killing it.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
But so I do get up. I like to do get moving right in the morning. It just makes me feel better and get the day started off right. So I usually do a little workout in the morning, and then working all day at the computer. And then I do like to try to have some walks or breaks in between the day, because just get your mind, everybody needs a little break when they're working that many hours and everything. So I definitely recommend that to everybody, to get up, walk around, stretch or something during the workday too. If you're staring at a computer screen all day, that gets really boring and not good for you to just be doing that for 8 straight hours. So definitely get up and moving. And then usually a workout afterwards. So I do work with F45 and True Fusion. So I love all of their classes too. So just kind of working in either walking or doing some type of movement throughout the day. And I still meal prep, even though we're all working from home right now. Whether you have a corporate job or doing your own thing, entrepreneurship and stuff. I mean, most people are still working from home, but it's just easier for me and to make healthier choices if I already have it prepped out. Sundays, have like all my meats cooked and everything, and then just have that ready to go. So I'm kind of boring. I eat like the same thing every single day, but that helps me. And it's a lot easier and quicker when you're just working all day. You can just go grab it. It's already, and it's healthy for you.
You don't have to think about it so much. Yeah. You just kind of get it done. And then do you have any clients that are not like that, where they need a lot of variety? And what do you suggest to those people who they're like, I can't eat the same thing every day?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the questions. So getting started, I ask all of those questions. I have a lot of food allergies too. So that's a big thing for me, which makes it easier to eat the same thing like every day.
Totally.
But I do a variety of meals if people want variety and they can't eat the same thing. So that's something that you can do, obviously. If you have more time to cook and everything, you can cook things that night too. You don't have to meal prep to eat healthy or live a certain way. So there's definitely options for people, but it's also if you have certain cravings that might not be healthy, or like sugar cravings and stuff, it's just finding healthier alternatives for that. Like, you don't have to eat the fattiest things to have good taste. So
yeah, definitely.
Finding meals and recipes that are fun and taste good, but healthy for you too. So just finding what works for you, I think.
And it takes a little bit of time and investment of trying to discover that.
Exactly.
Right? People want a quick fix, I think, and like, okay, I'm just going to eat these things now. It's like, if you really want something sustainable, you have to trial, error, and build up a repertoire or recipes that you can fall back on. And then once you're kind of in that system like you're like, I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I just do these things and I get this result now.
And I kind of build off from there. So we'll have like a starting meal plan. I'm like, we're going to check in a couple weeks. Tell me what meals are working for you, what's not, what you want more of. And we're going to kind of customize it, give you different meals, switch it up from there.
Cool.
And see what works for that. But so that's kind of, I went through my weekly days, but then I always have my weekends that I'm trying to actually get out and have fun with my friends to have that balance. So going back to that. So either going out for drinks or somebody's house. And we've been traveling a lot, doing some glamping and stuff around the area. But I used to kind of be scared to travel because it's like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to eat healthy if I go out. And that's such a mental thing that you have to get out. I mean, if you are in that headspace right now, meal prep before you go camping or wherever you're going, or even bring some stuff to the restaurant if you're like doing a competition and that it's that important to you or anything. But even if you're going out to eat, like I have to do this because of my allergies, but if you're worried about health conscious things too, look at the menu before you go. You can even give them a call and see if they can cater to your nutritional needs or dietary restrictions and everything. So that's something for allergies, but also health-wise too that you can do.
It's totally spot on. All this stuff takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of planning.
Yeah.
I have one client, she's not eating dairy or gluten, and she still goes out once or twice a week with her husband, and she's able to go to all these awesome restaurants and makes the chef make changes. So don't be scared to like ask what you want. Yeah, look ahead.
Exactly.
Think about it. You can still enjoy yourself and get to where you want to go with your goals.
Yeah, you never want to feel too restricted because you're never going to stick with that. And it's such a lifestyle change in being healthy. It's not a quick fix. I don't believe in those at all. I mean, you're just going to get back where you started if you try to go all in from the start.
That's so good. What are ways you suggest clients track their progress? I know there's, taking weight, measurements, photos, all the, what are some strategies you use for yourself to kind of like, okay, I'm where I want to be, I'm not where I want to be. And then what are, strategies you implement with your different clients?
So, this is also going back to when I was first getting started. I was so obsessed with the scale and where I was there, and how I looked. And now I'm so into just having my clients think about how they feel. So when you started making these nutritional choices and you're eating whole foods and fruits and veggies and drinking more water, how is your body feeling now? Do you have more energy in the morning? Are you still feeling a little sluggish, or like when you look in the mirror, what do you feel? What do you see? So I'm more into that stuff instead of numbers and data, especially for the people that I'm working with. Don't even look at the scale if you don't want to. Do you feel good? Do you see yourself and you're proud of where you are and where you come from and how far you've come and where you are in the process? I think how you feel is so much more important than any aesthetics or the number on the scale or anything. I just want people to feel good and feel confident in themselves. So that's the number one. I mean, I'd rather people take progress pictures instead of weighing themselves, because you can be making progress if you're building muscle. Even if you're losing fat too, you might stay at the same weight or even gain weight, but look and feel so much better about yourself. So
yeah, same thing will happen if I start training, usually with females, the first month or two. I always have to have a talk and be like, why am I gaining weight? What are we doing here? I didn't come to you to gain weight. Yeah. You're like, relax. Yeah. It's all good. And everyone's individual. Some people's scale works well. Some people, it makes them go crazy. So if it makes you go crazy, you need to get away from it. Get off the scale.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely don't dwell on those numbers. So I always like to say it's a feeling, not about the numbers.
Yeah, I like that.
Progress pictures do work, though, because, like, I know when you're looking at yourself in the mirror every single day, you don't necessarily see those changes.
Totally.
So I do like to have my clients take before and then, like, every once a month, just take more pictures, because I've had so many clients do that and be like, wow, I didn't even notice that within the last month or so. Like, this is the little bit of changes that I've gotten, because you're looking at yourself in the mirror every day. You don't really see that. So, and then it gives them a little confidence to keep going. And they're like, wow, I really am. Like, I feel better and I'm getting the aesthetic that I want to. So win-win.
And sometimes you can't go based on, like, you can have a bad week and think you're not progressing, and you look at the pictures and you're like, oh, wow, I actually am changing, right?
Like, yeah, and it's a slow, and those are fun to look back at too. Like, I know first couple months might be slow, but when you're looking at it in a year, 5 years, I mean, like we were talking about before, this is a lifestyle change. You're going to be doing this for a while. So it's fun to look back at those, like, 5-year pictures being like, holy crap, that, like, I came a long way.
I love that. I love that. One big thing you talk about a lot is, like, self-love and self-confidence. And it seems like it took a little while in your journey to kind of understand that was a really important piece of, like, transformation.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about what those things mean to you and how you work with clients around those subjects.
So that wasn't something that I really thought of when I was getting started.
Okay.
But as I was hitting those goals and feeling better about myself and my transformation, I mean, obviously it's fun and it's nice to, I got my goal weight or I look much better, but realizing that I'm setting these goals and I can actually achieve them, like, that was something that was huge for me. So growing up, I mean, yeah, you feel accomplished doing stuff at school or, like, every day or whatever, but if you have these big goals and then you're setting for yourself and then you realize that you can hit them, that's like an empowerment on yourself. And I started being like, wow, I can do this. And it was like growing my self-confidence just to have these fitness goals and to hold myself accountable. So I was such a big sweet tooth person. So having ice cream every night, chocolate, like sweet tooth, everything. So being able to, and I kind of have an addictive personality. So once I start to eat something, like if you give me chips and guac, I'm going to eat the whole thing when I go out.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So, like, actually realizing, wow, I can kind of tame it back and have the self discipline to stop myself or to do this and to follow this plan. And that really helped grow my self-confidence. And then looking in the mirror and being like, wow, it's so possible to look in the mirror and not hate myself, which sounds so bad, but it's like, wow, I can actually love myself and my body. That's so much more important than any number on the scale, any weight loss thing. That's the real transformation, is that mental one, being like, I believe in myself. I know I can do it. I'm confident in myself and I love who I am and who I'm becoming.
So having those wins allowed you to build your confidence.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's all I really want for anybody else, as many people that I can work with, inspire. Just that's why I have the Instagram and everything. I just want people to realize that, yes, you can do whatever you set out to do. And it's really most important about that mental health and really loving yourself instead of any fitness or numbers or data or what you look like.
I love that. Would you say that's kind of like your main message as of right now that you're trying to get out to people?
Definitely. Just develop a healthier lifestyle. So my whole thing is finding self-love and confidence through fitness and health. So just developing that healthier lifestyle, it changed me. And I want to share that with everybody else too. So that's aligned with all the brands that I work with. That's aligned with all of the my friends and who I connect with and network with too. That's who I want to surround myself with and really build upon that.
So it's just kind of, seeping into everything in your life, right?
And I think that's something that people should do, whether it's their hobby. It doesn't have to be like health and fitness and everything, but if you find something that you're passionate about and that's really your core value and what you want to live by, I think it should seep into your everyday life and what you do.
That's amazing. That's awesome. One last thing is for people that are just beginning or want to begin, right? They're kind of coming out of this pandemic. Maybe they've gained a bunch of weight. They're feeling really down, maybe stuck. What are 2-3 tips for beginning with nutrition, getting moving, and even just mindset? Like, what are some things you can say to somebody who's in that place right now?
Yeah, sorry. I actually just did a post on this pretty recently.
Okay,
too,
cool.
So it's
perfect. Live post right here.
Yeah. Very easy steps to get started. So I would say number one, drink more water, because people don't realize, your body's made up of 70% of water. You need that to function correctly. And that's such a healthy thing, because a lot of people feel hungry and they start eating, but they're never satisfied, because it's not really a hunger thing. They're just very dehydrated.
Totally.
And that helps your body just perform optimally anyway. So number one, drink more water. So
cool.
Get up, have a glass of water. Have a glass of water before your meals, or if you're feeling hungry, just make sure it's not dehydration instead of that. Easiest thing to get started and get healthier.
Yeah, not energy drinks or coffee, water.
Yes, water.
Yeah.
I do love my C4s,
hey,
though. I will say that.
That blueberry flavor or whatever it is, the blue one.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking
so
amazing.
Good. Wasn't a plug there, but anyway.
Yeah.
And then for movement, I would say just get started. I mean, if you're not doing anything, 15 minutes a day, but I would say optimally 30 minutes a day, and that doesn't have to be like strength training or HIIT or something super intense. Go out for a walk. I mean, do some yoga if that's what you like to do. Whatever movement or activity that you enjoy, that it's not something that you're like, oh, I have to go work out right now. Like, you want to look forward to that. So whatever type of movement that you like and you're into, get 30 minutes a day. That's it. It's pretty easy to do too.
Yeah, that's great. And it's kind of like, what is the path of least resistance? Do something that feels good, that when you say it to yourself, I'm going to do this thing, it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like something to look forward to every day.
Yeah, because like you were saying, you want to build momentum. You don't want to stack the cards against yourself and make it so daunting that you can't even accomplish it.
Exactly. And then build from there. So eventually it might be an hour workout a day, and maybe you do get into weights and different things or different classes, but start with something simple and then build on. And then I would say the third one, I mean, just get out and have fun. Like, I love going outside, nature walks. If you have some sunshine, hanging out with friends. I mean, laughter is the best medicine. So if you're stuck inside and you're kind of in your own head, and in that, like you were saying, people have been stuck and they're not feeling good about themselves, best way to feel better, outside, get some vitamin D, and then be with loved ones. So if you're laughing and having fun, that's actually building a healthier lifestyle for you. So
yeah, it's super
very simple.
Good for your immune system. Connect basically with nature and connect with loved ones. That's a huge part of health.
Yeah.
Your immune system needs that as a human being.
And people don't realize that can be part of just feeling better, and like that mental aspect too. So that's definitely something that's huge. It doesn't have to be just straight nutrition and fitness. Like, it's all about how you're feeling and connections and building that space too.
Yeah, that's where the kind of holistic fitness lifestyle comes in.
For sure.
Right? It's not just like gym and nutrition. There's all these other pieces in there. So that's super good. I think it's very valuable for people in that place. And then I wanted to go into, tell me more about why you think weight training or resistance training for women is eventually a very important piece to have in their training.
Yeah. Well, building muscle and lifting, that's going to create lean muscle mass. People think a lot of girls think they're going to get bulky if they start lifting heavy. we're not made that way, just genetically. You're not going to get huge unless you're really, that's your goal. And if you're like taking stuff to get huge, and like you really have to try to get huge. If you're just lifting weights, doing resistance training, you're going to get that lean muscle mass that burns fat when you're just at rest too. So people think, oh, you have to be a cardio bunny to burn fat. You should get your heart rate up and have some form of cardio just for that aspect. But weight training is where you're really going to get that lean body if that's what you're into and want. So you need muscle to burn fat and to get that look that people usually are looking for when they reach out to me, at least. So.
Yeah. And it's counter, intuitive. But if you keep doing all that cardio, you're going to burn all your muscle off.
Yeah.
And then you make it a harder place to actually get to your goals.
And that's kind of that skinny fat that people see too. So I definitely like to do a good mix, but I would say the resistance training, lifting, HIIT, if you don't like to, you can substitute it with HIIT. So because you're still building muscle when you're doing like push-ups, burpees, all of that HIIT stuff too. So
totally,
as long as you're building muscle, you're going to reach your goals a lot faster than being a cardio bunny and running all the time. It's very important.
Exactly. So what's the future for you with your side hustle of fitness and all that? Like where do you see all this going?
I kind of have just been winging it, going as
that's cool.
as I go.
Have you had some thoughts of like where you think you could want to go with it?
I will say when I was up in Boston, I was very focused on the one-on-one training, coaching, and the fitness and meal plans for people.
Yep.
I'm still doing that, but as I've been in Austin and just networking a ton more because there's so much more people and brands and gyms to work with down here that I love, and really partnering with people that help support my vision and to help other people. So I've been doing a lot of more brand work and networking down here.
Cool.
So more expansion into that and like doing things like this. So being on podcasts and talking with people or working with brands that really help support what I believe in too. So different gyms like F45 and True Fusion who fit into that, or different like Free Spirit, so different activewear brands that really have that envision for women and for people just getting started and healthy and promoting a good lifestyle, healthy lifestyle and self-love. So I'm just trying to connect with the same like-minded people and build that up right now is my focus.
That's super rad. It's just kind of branching off and the message is still there. It's just kind of taking shape in a different way.
Connecting more people.
Yeah, that's super.
To spread the message.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. So if people want to find you, work with you, all the plugs,
everything is Get Fit with Nikk, or you can Google Nikki Zahka. I think everything pops up, but my website's getfitwithnikk.com. Instagram, getfitwith, and then _NIKK. Facebook, same thing, Fit with Nikk. So that's pretty much my thing on all the things.
Awesome. Well, Nikk, thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and all your wisdom. Share with everybody. And I look forward to having you on again.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.